Recreational use is legal and marijuana sales are skyrocketing. If you buy a product from a dispensary, you would probably assume that it does not have dangerous chemicals or pesticides. Well, tonight, our investigation exposes why that's an assumption you shouldn't make.
Thank you very much.
We're undercover in a marijuana dispensary investigating concerns some pot products are not being tested. Testing required by law to make sure people don't buy contaminated cannabis.
If you're really sensitive to things like pesticides, how do you know what's in the marijuana?
We'll reveal what happened here in just a moment. But first, have you seen for yourself dispensaries selling products that were not tested?
Yes, several times.
Ryan Tracy is giving us a tour of his lab, C4. The founder recently spent almost $3 million on upgrades to test medical and recreational marijuana.
We look for 4 main heavy metal contaminants, and that's arsenic, mercury, lead, and cadmium.
This is one of a handful of labs certified by the state to test marijuana products, from plants and creams to oils and edibles. Specialized machines designed to detect everything from heavy metals and mold to potency and pesticides.
Give me an example of a dangerous pesticide that you would be testing for.
So one of the pesticides that we would test for here would be obviously myclobutanol. One of the compounds that can occur once it's been combusted or inhaled or lit on fire is hydrogen cyanide.
Why would that particular chemical be dangerous?
So hydrogen cyanide is actually what they use when they have a gas chamber for capital punishment.
In 2017, Arizona's family exposed moldy medical marijuana was being sold in our state. Following those reports, testing became mandatory just last November. But in recent months, C4 Labs has seen the number of tests ordered drop from 200 a week to less than 80, at a time when they expected testing to go up.
Recreational marijuana went on sale in Arizona in January, and you're actually seeing the number of test results ordered falling?
Drastically.
Of the labs certified by the state to test marijuana, 3 report testing is down 65 to 90%. Another said testing was flat. 2 labs did not respond.
All the safety testing dropped off like crazy.
Owners of the competing labs seeing a drop in testing sat down with us. They believe it's less about the cost of testing and more about the failure rates.
I really think it's more about test results. They're not happy failing.
In Arizona, dispensaries have to provide lab results like these for every marijuana product if a customer asks to see them. Tracy says about a quarter of products they test fail, with levels sometimes hundreds or tens of thousands of times over acceptable levels. Some of these products are used for recreation. Others are used by people with health issues.
If we don't make sure that it's free from harmful contaminants, we don't know what it will lead to. And I don't think we can claim ignorance 10 years down the road when people are starting to see the impact of this on their health.
Concerned tests are not being run. A C4 employee who we are not identifying says she went into a local dispensary and asked for results.
He just said that, we don't have anything like that on paper to show that it's safe, but I can tell you that there's no carcinogens, there's no pesticides, there's no mold in in any of these products. We smoke this all the time. This is okay.
The importance of accurate testing hits close to home for Jessica Crozier. At work, she manages the C4 laboratory.
I take her 2 different strains of medicine and I will measure it out to the nearest milligram.
At home, she manages her daughter's medical condition, carefully calculating daily doses of cannabis.
I had epilepsy.
Since the age of 2, Emma has suffered seizures. The family shared this video of Emma trapped in a seizure, unable to wake up. Cannabis products changed her life.
She was having about 7 to 9 seizures a day.
How many seizures is she down to now?
She has one every usually 4 to 6 weeks, but knock on wood, we are at about 10 weeks right now, seizure free, which is amazing.
Are you comfortable just going to a dispensary and taking their word on how much THC or CBD is in a product?
No, I'm not. I won't ever take their word.
That's the IO extract, high grade, holo, and
At Best Dispensary in Mesa, owner Susan Wong was able to show us lab reports for every product I picked out at random.
So we'll go with some gummies, the tincture in the blue bottle up there.
For this product right here, here is the test result.
These are the results that are supposed to be made available if a customer asks for them.
Aspergillus, we covered the earlier, E. coli and Salmonella, all passed. Long list of pesticides, which are prohibited, right? And then they tested for them and then all passed. Residual solvent pass. Mycotoxins pass.
Wong says she only buys from vendors who supply the test results she can then verify with the labs, and acknowledges there are a lot of products being pushed that have not been tested.
Do vendors ever approach you who don't have the lab results?
All the time.
What do you tell them?
We refuse their products.
It's up to the manufacturer or dispensary to send in the product for testing. The dispensary eventually gets back the lab results, but the state, which is in charge of enforcement, does not get a copy.
Results are supposed to be available during inspections by the state. But with testing down, lab owners believe some untested products are being sold.
Because you want to see testing and stuff, I'm not going to actually have you work with my managers.
Those concerns bring us back to our hidden camera investigation. Harvest is one of the state's largest dispensaries with multiple locations. A manager never came out. And when we asked to see the lab test, there were plenty of assurances, but no proof.
Yeah, but what about like pesticides to show that it doesn't
We're not going to have anything in here that's going to have pesticides. If it has pesticides in it, it's automatically destroyed.
Okay, but you don't actually have the reports?
No, nope.
Do you get all of your marijuana products tested, and do you get the results?
We have always tested all of our marijuana products since 2013.
Steve White, the CEO of Harvest, agreed to speak with us. At this point, he doesn't know we were inside of one of his dispensaries. That's about to change. I went into one of your dispensaries recently, and they did not have the lab results. Why would that be?
There could be a variety of reasons for that. It would depend on, well, they could be in a different place. We have a centralized procurement department.
Under the Arizona Administrative Code, you are required to have the lab results available if somebody asks for them.
Okay, I will trust you on that.
So that's not happening.
What you said is that, well, I don't know. I wouldn't agree that it's not happening.
But you don't actually have the reports?
No, nope.
So how do you know if a marijuana product has been tested? You ask for the results when you buy something. They're actually very easy to read. Everything is laid out pass-fail. So if the dispensary cannot give you the results, then there is no guarantee that the product has been tested. And when it comes to enforcement, the Arizona Department of Health Services has already found 17 cases where dispensaries were not in compliance, mostly for not having products safety tested. We also want to point out it does not appear that any fines have been issued. And one more thing. The health department repeatedly declined to do an interview with me, but we learned that someone at the health department shared the details on the information that I was requesting for this investigation with a lobbyist for the dispensaries. So that raises the question, just how close is the health department with an industry that it's supposed to regulate? Now, marijuana is expected to grow into a $4 billion a year industry here in Arizona. And when it comes to the public safety, this is a topic that we'll be staying on top of.